There is a moment, and almost every single person on this earth has felt it, where you decide to change. You wake up one morning, and something is different. There is a fire inside you, a clarity you have never felt before, a voice that says, "This time is different. This time, I will not stop." So you begin. You start waking up at 5 a.m. You start working out. You start reading. You start building. And for the first few days, maybe even the first few weeks, you feel unstoppable. And then something happens. Not a dramatic failure, not a disaster, just silence. The results don't come. The progress is invisible. The world doesn't respond. And slowly, without even realizing it, you stop. Not because you were weak, not because you were wrong, but because of something nobody ever warned you about. Something called the mastery gap. The mastery gap is the space, the painful, silent, invisible space between where you begin and where your results actually start to show. It is the period where you are working every single day. You are sacrificing. You are pushing. You are doing everything right. And the world is giving you absolutely nothing back. No results, no validation, no visible progress. Nothing. Just you, alone, in the dark, doing the work anyway. And this exact place is where 99% of people quit. Not because the path was wrong, not because they lacked the talent, but because they expected the world to respond faster than it was ever designed to. Here is the truth that nobody puts in motivational videos. The truth that nobody sells on Instagram. The truth that the most successful people on earth learned the hard way. Progress is not linear. It is invisible. And then suddenly, explosive. Think about bamboo. For the first 5 years of its life, a bamboo plant shows almost no growth above the ground. You water it every day. You protect it. You nurture it. And you see almost nothing. But underneath the surface, where no one can see, the roots are spreading for miles in every direction, building a foundation so deep, so strong, that nothing will ever be able to stop what comes next. And then, in year 6, the bamboo grows 90 feet in just 6 weeks. 90 feet. 6 weeks. That is not luck. That is not magic. That is the result of years of invisible work finally breaking through the surface. That is the mastery gap. And that is exactly where you are right now. Here is something nobody tells you about discipline. Your brain, the most powerful organ in the known universe, is actively working against you. Not because it hates you, but because it was never built for mastery. It was built for survival. And survival has one simple rule. If something costs energy and produces no reward, stop doing it immediately. This is called the reward prediction error. Your brain is constantly measuring the gap between what it expects to receive and what it actually gets. When you begin a new discipline, when you start training, building, creating, your brain generates enormous expectations. And when reality doesn't match those expectations fast enough, your brain sends one signal, loud and clear: quit. It does not care about your goals. It does not care about your potential. It does not care about the life you are trying to build. It only cares about one thing: conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary pain. This is the real reason motivation always dies. Motivation is not a personality trait. It is not something some people have and others don't. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions, by their very nature, are temporary. The people who survive the mastery gap do not wait for motivation to return. They do not try to feel inspired before they begin. They build something far more powerful than emotion. They build systems. Cold, mechanical, unfeeling systems that run whether they feel ready or not. They make discipline structural, not emotional. And that single shift changes everything. Every single person you have ever admired has lived inside the mastery gap. Every one of them. Kobe Bryant arrived at the gym before the sun rose and shot 1,000 basketballs before any of his teammates arrived. Every single day, for years. Before the championships, before the legacy, before anyone called him the greatest. He did it in silence, with no guarantee it would ever work. David Goggins ran through injuries that would have hospitalized most people. He failed the Navy SEAL entrance test and came back. He failed again and came back again. He spent years being told he would never make it, and he did it anyway. Alone, in the dark, in the gap. Every great writer you have ever read wrote in total obscurity before the world knew their name. Every great entrepreneur you admire failed quietly, repeatedly, before a single person believed in them. What separated them from everyone else was not talent. It wasn't luck. It wasn't connections. It wasn't circumstance. It was one decision made over and over again, every single day, to refuse to let silence mean failure. Because here is what most people get catastrophically wrong. They treat the absence of results as evidence that they are on the wrong path. But silence is not failure. Silence is not a sign to stop. Silence is the price of mastery. The gap is not punishing you. The gap is not ignoring you. The gap is building you, layer by layer, into someone the world will eventually be unable to ignore. So how do you survive the mastery gap when every part of you is screaming to stop? There are four things that separate the people who cross the gap from the people who spend their entire lives standing at the edge of it. The first, measure inputs, not outputs. Stop measuring results. You cannot control results. Start measuring actions. Did you show up today? Did you do the work? That is your only question. That is your only metric. Results will come, but they arrive on their own timeline, not yours. Your job is to control what you can control. The second, compress your identity. Stop saying you are trying to be disciplined. Stop saying you are working on it. Start saying, I am someone who does not quit. The moment your discipline becomes part of who you are, rather than something you are attempting to do, the gap becomes survivable. Identity is the foundation that motivation can never be. The third, find one person who crossed the gap, not a motivational account, not someone selling a program. Find one real human being, living or dead, who survived the silence and came out the other side transformed. Study them until their story becomes your proof that the gap ends. The fourth, make quitting harder than continuing. Tell people your commitment out loud. Build consequences. Create accountability. Design your environment so that showing up is always the path of least resistance. Because willpower is a resource that runs out. Structure does not. Most people will never discover what they were truly capable of. Not because they were weak. Not because the world was against them. Not because they lacked the talent or the time or the opportunity. But because they quit inside the mastery gap, inches from the breakthrough, before the roots ever had a chance to reach the surface. You are not most people. You found this. You stayed until the end. Something inside you is still fighting, still searching, still refusing to accept a life built on giving up. That something is enough. Keep the streak alive one more day, then one more after that, then one more. The gap does not last forever, but the person you become inside it does. Conquer self.